Good evening, everybody. I'm Lou Dobbs. The GOP establishment tonight is playing a very dangerous game as they have made stopping Donald Trump the #1 priority of their party. These are the same GOP elites who've screwed up and lost 2 presidential elections in a row. And today, a secretive group of Republican operatives and conservative leaders met for some 5 hours in Washington. They were there talking about ways to deny voters who want Donald Trump to be the nominee. This group of conservatives, led by Red State founder Eric Erickson, sound a bit like an ideological suicide platoon, as they reportedly are considering a number of strategies, including a third-party conservative run for the White House. Trump, to this point, has outwitted his opposition. He's outmaneuvered them for months. Both Republicans and Democrats. Super PACs have reportedly wasted more than $200 million attacking failed Republican candidates that include Scott Walker, Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, Marco Rubio. And at the same time, voters have made it increasingly clear they want Donald Trump to be the nominee, and by a sizable margin. The GOP establishment is equally clear. They won't accept Trump, and they are now committed to what appears to be a battle, and it might include the death of the party itself. They've already begun talking about changing rules that now favor Trump, changing those rules to exclude him. Types like House Speaker Paul Ryan, who are now making a public point of talking up the prospect of what Ryan calls an open convention.
This is more likely to become an open convention than we thought before. We're getting our minds around the idea that this could very well become a reality, and therefore those of us who are involved in the convention need to respect that.
Comments like Ryan's are only damaging to the Republican Party and helpful to the opposition, and quickly exploited today by Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid.
The Republican establishment acts bewildered, but they should not be bewildered. As much as they may try to distance themselves from Trump now, Republican leaders are responsible for his rise. For 8 years, they drained all the oxygen from the policy debate in this country by replacing thoughtful engagement with resentment and with hatred.
We take up the GOP effort to stop Trump tonight. We'll be talking with former Trump advisor Roger Stone, Fox News radio host Todd Starnes, and on branding of the Trump slogans and candidacy. We're joined tonight by former Apple CEO John Sculley, and we are going to look at the question whether the GOP is actually trying to destroy their party. Also tonight, Pope Francis strikes again, going political again on Donald Trump. The pontiff now urging nations to, quote, open their hearts and open their doors to illegal immigrants. We'll be talking about the propriety of the pontiff's insertion again in U.S. politics and the skullduggery of the Republican elites. And the scandal that could end Hillary Clinton's presidential ambitions worsening tonight. We're reporting that Clinton's team aggressively tried to change security rules so that she could use her private email server for classified communications. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge will have our live report from Washington. Our top story tonight, the Republican establishment's intensifying efforts to change convention rules, to attack the candidacy of their party's frontrunner, and to betray Republican voters who have supported Donald Trump. It's clear the Washington cartel, the donor class, the GOP elites are now fully committed to stopping Donald Trump. But it's equally clear that elitist opposition is in part responsible for a surge in Trump's popularity, and even the New York Times now acknowledges that Trump, with a almost 300 delegate lead, is in a strong position to win the required 1,237 delegates necessary to secure the Republican nomination. Among the upcoming primaries, Arizona, which votes on March 22nd, and a new poll shows Trump with a 12-point lead there over Senator Ted Cruz. In California, which votes on June 7th, Trump now has a 16-point lead over Cruz. And for a broader view of Trump's enlarging popularity, consider this. Recent polls out of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Illinois show not only a Trump lead, but those polls show Trump trouncing his opponents. Yet the establishment keeps pushing the idea of an open convention and conservatives talking up a third-party bid for the White House. Listen to conservative Eric Erickson on that initiative.
There's a strong coalition of looking at going to the existing candidates, Kasich, Cruz, saying you need to cut a deal, find a unity ticket within the Republican Party. The final fallback option would certainly be a third party, though the consensus was everyone would rather settle this on the convention floor.
And Senator Marco Rubio adding his voice today to the effort with his first public comments on the race since he dropped out.
No one ever gets into an election saying, can't wait to get to the convention. You want to win the delegates and unite the party. That's the ideal outcome. It doesn't appear to be headed there, except after Tuesday night. Perhaps, Trump has gained enough delegates to kind of move closer in that direction, but there's still an open question about whether he gets to 1237, and we'll see as it plays out. I don't think that's the ideal outcome for the party. I think in an ideal world, you have a nominee, and people coalesce around the nominee, and it gives you a stronger position in the general election. I don't believe Donald Trump will ever be able to do that.
Well, of course, Trump has warned that any third-party bid would guarantee a President Hillary Clinton and her likely appointment of as many as 4 liberal justices to the Supreme Court. Politics makes for strange bedfellows, as we all know, and tonight the Clinton campaign is siding with the Kremlin against Donald Trump. Both upset over this Trump political ad that attacked Mrs. Clinton. Take a look. A Kremlin spokesman says the ad unfairly demonizes Russia. The Clinton camp recut the ad, inserting Trump in place of the barking Clinton. But all of this is unlikely to hurt Donald Trump much. When Pope Francis questioned his faith last month, Trump went on to win the South Carolina primary, and he won it by double digits.